Rowan Atkinson, the legendary Mr. Bean himself, and his surprising diss on electric vehicles. That's right, the man who's made millions from wacky car antics is apparently not a fan of the latest eco-friendly rides. So as we peel back the layers of Atkinson's arguments against EVs, from environmental impact to, well, let's just say a lack of a certain something. So is Mr. Bean right? Are EVs a greenwash sham, or is there more to the story? We'll hit the brakes on misconceptions, explore the future of electric cars, and see if maybe there's a middle ground to be found. Rowan Atkinson, a well-known car enthusiast, has become a vocal critic of electric vehicles despite being an early adopter. His concerns stem from a belief that EVs aren't the environmental panacea they're often presented as. Atkinson argues that EVs get a free pass due to lacking tailpipe emissions. He highlights the environmental impact of lithium-ion battery production, including mining practices and disposal challenges. He views EVs through a life cycle analysis lens, considering the environmental cost from cradle to grave. Atkinson questions the environmental benefit of EVs if the electricity powering them comes from fossil fuels. He believes a large-scale shift towards renewable energy sources like solar and wind is necessary for EVs to truly be green. As a car lover, Atkinson criticizes the driving experience of some EVs. He misses the feel and sound associated with traditional gasoline engines, describing them as soulless in comparison. Atkinson's perspective challenges the uncritical acceptance of EVs. While he acknowledges their potential, he pushes for a more holistic examination of their environmental impact and a consideration of alternative solutions like keeping cars longer and exploring synthetic fuels. This critical viewpoint adds complexity to the EV discussion, urging us to consider both the benefits and drawbacks as we navigate towards a cleaner transportation future. Unlike many celebrities who jump on the latest green bandwagon, Atkinson was an early adopter, owning a hybrid for 18 years and a fully electric car for 9 years. This first-hand experience provides a unique perspective that has shifted from initial excitement to a more critical stance. Atkinson's early years with EVs likely coincided with a period of optimism surrounding the technology. EVs were seen as revolutionary, promising a clean break from fossil fuel dependence. He may have been drawn to their novelty and potential to reduce his environmental footprint. However, as he spent more time with them, his understanding of their complexities deepened. Rowan Atkinson's critique of EVs hinges on a central concern: their true environmental impact. He argues that the focus on EVs as clean overlooks the environmental costs associated with their production and use. Atkinson criticizes the reliance on lithium-ion batteries, highlighting the environmental toll of mining the necessary minerals like lithium and cobalt. He questions the sustainability of these processes, pointing out potential issues like habitat destruction and pollution. Furthermore, battery disposal presents a challenge and current recycling methods may not be sufficient. Atkinson goes beyond tailpipe emissions, advocating for a life cycle analysis of EVs. This approach considers the environmental impact across the entire lifespan of an EV, from the extraction of raw materials for batteries to the car's eventual disposal. He argues that focusing solely on tailpipe emissions creates a blind spot regarding the environmental cost hidden within the production and disposal phases. Atkinson raises concerns about the source of electricity powering EVs. If the electricity comes from fossil fuels, the environmental benefit of EVs diminishes significantly. He emphasizes the need for a large-scale shift towards renewable energy sources like solar and wind to truly unlock the environmental potential of EVs. Atkinson's environmental doubts challenge the simplistic narrative of EVs as a clean solution. His perspective pushes for a more comprehensive understanding of their environmental footprint, encouraging us to consider the entire life cycle and the role of the electricity grid. By acknowledging these complexities, we can work towards cleaner battery production practices, improved recycling methods, and a more robust renewable energy infrastructure, ultimately paving the way for a truly sustainable transportation future. Atkinson advocates for a life cycle assessment of EVs, and this approach goes beyond the clean image of electric cars and considers the environmental impact at every stage, from raw material extraction and manufacturing to use and eventual disposal. By including these factors, we gain a more complete picture of the environmental footprint of EVs, and the perspective challenges the notion that EVs are a silver bullet for clean transportation. He urges us to look beyond the tailpipe and consider the environmental cost associated with battery production, disposal, and the energy source powering the grid that charges EVs. This broader viewpoint encourages a more nuanced discussion about the environmental impact of EVs and highlights the need for advancements in battery tech, responsible mining practices, and robust recycling infrastructure to ensure a truly sustainable future for electric transportation. Rowan Atkinson, the renowned car enthusiast, throws a curveball into the electric vehicle conversation by criticizing their driving experience. While most discussions focus on environmental benefits, Atkinson laments the loss of a certain soul in EVs compared to traditional gasoline-powered cars. Atkinson acknowledges the potential efficiency gains of EVs. However, he argues that driving pleasure grows beyond mere numbers. He misses the visceral thrill associated with the sound and feel of a traditional gasoline engine. The instant torque of EVs, while impressive, may not replicate the experience of a car building power through the rev range. He suggests that EVs might lack the connection a driver feels with a car powered by a traditional engine. The act of shifting gears, listening to the engine note, and feeling the car respond to your inputs might be a crucial part of the driving experience for some enthusiasts. EVs, with their silent operation and automatic transmissions, may not offer the same level of engagement. Atkinson describes EVs as a bit soulless compared to gasoline cars, and this suggests a sense of loss beyond just performance. The intricate mechanics and engineering of a traditional engine might hold a certain romantic appeal for car enthusiasts. EVs, with their simpler electric motors, might not evoke the same sense of awe and appreciation for the machine. Atkinson's perspective adds a layer of complexity to the EV discussion. While acknowledging the environmental benefits, he highlights the potential loss of a unique aspect of car culture, and this raises the question of whether future EVs can offer a more engaging driving experience while still maintaining their environmental advantages. Perhaps advancements in sound engineering or driver feedback systems could bridge the gap between efficiency and excitement, ensuring a future where clean transportation doesn't come at the cost of driving passion. Atkinson proposes alternative solutions to address environmental concerns. He suggests that people keep their existing cars for longer periods to minimize the environmental impact associated with frequent car purchases and disposals. He also sees potential in synthetic fuels as a cleaner alternative to traditional gasoline and diesel. Atkinson's views have drawn criticism from EV advocates. Some argue that his focus on the environmental impact of battery production ignores the significant reduction in emissions achieved by EVs compared to traditional gasoline-powered cars. They also point out that battery technology is constantly improving, with advancements in materials and recycling processes addressing some of his concerns. While Atkinson raises valid points, it is important to view EVs within the broader context of efforts to combat climate change. They are a significant piece of the puzzle, but not the only one. Investments in renewable energy infrastructure, improvements in battery technology, and responsible mining practices are all crucial for EVs to reach their full environmental production. Hey, that's all the time we have for today on why Rowan Atkinson isn't quite sold on EVs just yet. Let us know in the comments what you think. Are you Team Atkinson on this one, or are you charging forward with electric vehicles? And before you jet, hit that like and subscribe button for more car content.